Hi everyone, so today is the 26th of March 2020 and this is an angelic guidance reading, and so I've used the Angelic Healing Oracle deck to bring you through some guidance at this time that we're finding ourselves in now, and that is the coronavirus. So the question I asked was, what is important for us to know at this time? And I've asked the question because I'm receiving so many messages at the moment from people suffering with heightened anxiety. There's a lot of fear out there, so much worry as well, which is so understandable, and every now and again I worry myself because I've got my grandparents, my family, everyone around me, and I'm lucky for that. But at the same time, what if one of them becomes ill? And all these thoughts begin to occur, but at the same time I just bring myself back and center myself and try to bring through some positive energy. And at the moment that's really helping to keep me grounded and to keep me quite calm. So let me begin with this reading. So the first card to come out was retreat, which is where we're at the moment. We're all being forced to come within our homes, to stay at home, because that is the best way to kill this virus. It's helping our NHS, our hospital workers, our first line workers, the key workers. By staying at home, we're hoping that this will minimize infection risk and things like that. So this is also, I'm being drawn to the leaves of autumn in that card, if you can see. And autumn is about change and things resting, which is where we're at. We're having to really put our life on hold at the moment, and many people are beginning to learn that there is so much more to life than work. And of course there is, and we're seeing that the jobs that we may class as the low ones in society, for example, stacking shelves for a living, is often looked down upon, but they're now the most important people in this country, along with our hospital workers. And so the more we are retreating, the more we're learning about ourselves, about the way we treat other people, the way we look at things. Everything is changing, and with that we are leading on to this new beginning. And this is renewal. This is almost like the Empress card as well. This is all about fertilities, renewal, new beginnings coming in. This is also a card that reminds me very much of March anyway, spring energy. And this month has all been about new beginnings, the way we do things, the way we go about things, and taking new perspectives in life as well. And this whole moment of pause, we could be doing so much more with our time. And although many of us are working from home and we're still keeping ourselves active, we don't have to be as active with our work. We can take time out to just look at the views that surround us. We can go for that one walk a day at the moment and take in nature and breathe in the fresh air that's out there at this time, because the pollution levels are dropping. There's so much beauty around us, and now we've got time to enjoy it, to take it in. This is something we've not really had for a very long time, so we're beginning to learn so much about ourselves. But it is bringing up those anxiety levels. It's bringing out fear for people because something has changed. When you get used to a pattern in your life, you get used to it. And the moment somebody changes it, we fear change. We fear what's next, what's coming. But instead of fearing what's coming, we've got to bring ourselves back to the moment. We've got to bring ourselves back to the here and the now. And just take a deep breath and ground. Because the anxiety is we want to be in control. But as the planet is showing us at the moment, we're not in control. The viruses, nature is in control. Mother Earth is in control, and we have to just learn to go with the flow. And so this is a new beginning, a new way of living, a new world is what we're entering into. There's so much uncertainty to what may be left, to society after this has happened. Financials, how we're going to get our businesses back up and running again. There's so much uncertainty. Of course there's anxiety, and we have to understand that. But let's embrace this as a new beginning, a renewal, and something exciting will come from this, because the way we've been going on through our lives, it can't continue, it has to change. And this has given us time to think about ways to reinvent ourselves, if you like. The following card is Miracles, which is a beautiful card because this gives us hope that something will come from this, that something will change. And the angels there, they give us that message. It's like they're hearing our prayers, and whether that is a cure or whether it is more that the virus rates will just begin to slow down. So the new cases will just begin to slow, not just in one country, but all over the world. I do feel there will eventually be a cure for the virus, but I don't feel it's going to be yet. Every time I talk about this, I always get the month of June being very significant in a turning point in medicine history. I'm not sure again if that is to do with finding a cure or finding a way to minimise how many people it can spread to. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But the miracle is we become much closer to each other. Even, we are isolated from each other. We're feeling disconnected at the moment from each other in the world. However, let's look at everything. People are coming together with social media a lot more. They're finding new ways to connect to the world. They're finding new ways to express themselves. And, this is showing us that we are never disconnected. We are never alone. And we have to learn that be kind rule. But be kind has gone out the window now because of the fighting that we've seen in our supermarkets, the anger that's out there towards people going out in public, the frustration. And I've said this before on lives I've done on Facebook. Instead of feeling angry and hateful towards these people or each other, because, cabin fever could set in. It could. But let's send out love and healing to those people that anger us, because they need to learn. They need healing. They need understanding. They don't need our anger to snowball into something else which creates more anger. We don't need to do witch hunts anymore. We need to move away from our past as much as possible and embrace a new world where we actually see each other as equals and not as, rivals. We shouldn't have competition. We are each other. We are supporting each other. We are equal, okay? And the miracle is we begin to see this and we begin to learn, and we do come through this with some valuable life lessons, which is amazing. Now, as the months go on, and I want to go into end of April, May, I've got the card Balance. And the Balance card here, this is like all our emotions, because that person does look quite wounded. They're quite, full of sorrow. But it gives them time to think, and all that anxiety and all that worry, it begins to balance out, and people begin to just breathe and be in the moment and just embrace this, that we are at home, we are having to home educate children, and we are having to adapt and change our world and our life, but balance has to be restored. And that could be pollution levels dropping so that we prevent this world from going into climate change even further. Maybe that is the bigger picture. Maybe this is why it's happening and Mother Earth has done this, who knows. But the balance will be restored within us as well, and that will help us so much. And during this time of isolation where we are forced to be at home, use it to pull out the fear from in your heart chakra or from all your chakras. We do hold on to worries so much, especially the solar plexus in our gut. It's stress, it's worry, it can turn to IBS and all sorts. you know, and it's important to understand that anxiety, stress, fears are all low vibrational energy, and it can cause dis-ease within us, and it can also weaken the immune system as well, which is why that balance there is so important. We have to learn to overcome our anxieties and our fears. And you know, we are seeing a rise at the moment in the UK of people with mental health cases, and this is a really good way of learning, of understanding, which is why when I was talking about this card, learning to understand each other, you know, that's so important. So we can learn to understand, we can learn to talk, express, but also to listen, because not many people listen. They do a lot of talking and giving, but not a lot of people listen to each other anymore. And sometimes a person with mental health, for example with depression, just needs someone to listen to them so that they can talk out their problem, they can talk out their worry, and then it may not seem so big, and it just lifts a weight off of you. I talk from experience, you know, talking is always good, and we bottle things up as human beings because we think nobody out there wants to know, nobody wants to listen. But actually there are people out there who will listen and who will help, and now we've all got time to do so. So reach out to the people around you that you feel you haven't heard from for some time. You know, I've been encouraging people as well on my Facebook group, Jessica May Soul Connections, to tap into oracle cards just like these, and to pull a card each day and put it on their Facebook, and perhaps something from that card will lift the vibrations of somebody else and really help them to, you know, to get through their day. You don't have to be psychic to pull an oracle card. You know, it could just be that you really like the picture of it, and that picture may mean something to somebody. You never know what you're doing to help somebody. You know, people watch what I do on social media, and for example on Instagram, people follow me, and I don't always realise that something I've said has really helped someone to get through their day. And the inbox I get, you know, the messages from people just saying thank you, and I think, really? I didn't think that was a very good card reading. I didn't think that was a good message that I put up today. But to that one person, it's made a massive difference, and I always show my gratitude for that. And I think we're beginning to learn we have to show a lot more gratitude in our life now. So the next card I've got is trust, and this is for everybody to just trust that the tides will change. You know, they will calm. At the moment everything is very choppy, very frightening, but the trust card there is, you know, a gentle wave coming up to the shore. You know, it's a card about being authentic, and the more we can be authentic, the more truth we speak and the more harmony that is out there. The sun sets on dark times, but you know, the angel there is holding on to the light still. She's holding on to an orb of opportunity, and the fact she's wearing this healing blue colour I just love, because it's so pure and it's so natural. And it's a way that the angels are saying that please just trust that what you're going through at the moment is needed for the planet, which is a real hard thing to get our heads around when we're seeing so many people die, and we're hearing those numbers all the time, and we're seeing the heartache and we're feeling it. And as empaths, it's hard to not watch the news and cry, but there's always a bigger picture to things. You know, we have to try and see things from a different perspective, as hard as that is going to be, but there is always a greater reasoning, I suppose. But it doesn't make things any easier at all. So as we start working our way through the summer months, here we have abundance. You know, we're working our way through this. Finally we get that abundance, we get the music, we get the happiness, we get the vibrancy and the power coming through of each other. And we've learned in isolation about ourselves, we've learned about each other, We've learnt ways of how we can save the world, how we can look after each other, and how we can play our role. Some people feel very insignificant at this time, especially, for example, people in real high up jobs that can't go to work and maybe working from home, but they can't do everything from home. They feel a bit insignificant, and this is where the anxiety kicks in for them. But be a member of society, put yourself out there, help people, talk to people, put yourself on social media to enlighten people maybe. We're coming out with so many different ideas all the time of ways to support each other, and this is a big message. I don't know if you've noticed, I keep saying it a lot, but it is coming through a lot. We have to work together in order for us to get through this difficult time, and we will get through it. This is abundance. We're getting through it. Trust, we will get through it. And balance, just because things seem very dark at the moment, it will soon lighten up. You can't have the darkness without light, and you can't have the light without darkness. You have to have balance. You have to have yin and yang energy. So things will balance. And my final card, which is a beautiful card, is celebration. We're hearing from so many people, when this is over, we're going to have a massive party, we're going to have barbecues, we're going to celebrate, we're going to have street parties. But you're going to have to be sensible, because there could be a second wave of this virus. If we think we're in the clear, let's go out, let's celebrate, and all of a sudden it spreads again. We have to be sensible. But the full moon there is about the end of this cycle. It's about the ending and going into something new. And I want to say it's around September and then the autumn months, so October, November, where we begin to see this change take place. And we have to enjoy Christmas. We don't have to, but it's nice to enjoy Christmas and celebrate being with family. As much as we've been with them for the year, majority of us, it's almost like we'll be able to be physically with our families around Christmas time. And I get January being classed as more of a safe month. So this virus will die out, but like I said, I don't know if I pick up that a cure will be found just yet. But the miracle is that it does slow down, and there are ways to manage it and to overcome it. But it is a dark time at the moment. We're all seeing it. I mean, the fact that we know that they're out there preparing morgues and preparing wards for people, because they're expecting a peak over the next few weeks. It is worrying, it is frightening. But I ask you all just to send love and healing, because at the moment as humans, that is all we can do. And if you can sign up to be a volunteer for the NHS, for example, do that as well. Be a good Samaritan in your community. Even if it's just using the app to talk to somebody, an elderly person or somebody who is vulnerable in the community, make time for them. This is what it's all about now. It's about coming together with people and about honouring each soul for everything, and we have to see the good in each other, even if, we know that person has got some darkness somewhere. We have to see a light within them, because that will encourage them to seek their own light and to bring that out. Every dark person has the ability to turn their life around, and it's just about giving that person an opportunity to do so. When we see that they can, they see that they can. And so that is more contagious than a virus. I always say a smile is more contagious than viruses, as is love. That warmth and that happiness and that abundance that you get when you're in love. You want to feel that all the time. And when you smile that happiness and that abundance out to the world, somebody's got to smile back at you, and then that creates more and more smiles. So keep your happiness levels up, keep your vibrancy levels up. So I'm just going to pull an affirmation for you all, and this is from the deck, The Universe Has Your Back. And I love this deck. the pictures in this are just beautiful. But they're also just very simple messages as well. So I'm going to just split the deck and see what card we've got. Well, 2 cards have just come out, so let's have a look. Happiness is my birthright. And it's a new moon almost in that card, in that yellow as well. It's about releasing the stress, the fears and the worries. Now it's like a new moon, but also a full moon in the card as well, I want to see it as. And it's almost like we have got cycles to go through, you know, like the full moon is a completion of a cycle. We've got things to go through that is all about renewal in our life. And happiness is my birthright. What a great message to have. That's a great affirmation to have. Happiness is my birthright. And so when you have that message in your life, you know, you are entitled to be happy. Even in this time of darkness, you are entitled to it. So be happy and shine that out to the world, because we need it at the moment. We need that happiness. We need your light. So please do that. And the next cards come out. Energy flows where my intention goes. Again, another fantastic message to have. Energy flows where my intention goes. The law of attraction works in both ways. It can work that if you're really positive, you attract the positive energy to you. If you're thinking negative thoughts, you're going to be attracting negative experiences and energy to you. So it's always important to keep that vibration high within you and to see the good in others. Your thoughts create your results, and your words create your spells. You know, if you want to look at it as witchcraft, for example, if you're spouting nastiness about somebody, you're putting something on them. It's a negative energy, and this is where the new beginning has to come in. Things have got to change. I'm going to read the bottom of the deck, and the bottom of the deck is, I am the dreamer of my dream. As is my dog, as you can hear in the background. I am the dreamer of my dream. You know, it just shows no matter what, you are in control. And even at this time of uncertainty, if it feels like you're losing your business and if you feel like you're losing control of everything around you, hold on to those dreams still, because your dreams got you to where you are today. Hold on to them and don't give up hope. And I want to say that to everybody. Please do not give up hope at this time. Keep embracing each other, support each other, and be that good Samaritan for somebody, because we're heading into a new world. The old ways does not exist. The matrix is falling in, and we are going through a mass human awakening, whether we like it or not, and whether people who understand this or not. But over the coming years, we're going to see people being more awake to the truth, people being more awake to what has been hidden for so many years. And to me, that is a planet that I want to live on. It's a planet of truth, and a planet of love and happiness and abundance, and a planet that we love and don't destroy. So thank you everyone for listening, and I will try and do another message like this again for you. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am on there as Jessica May Psychic Medium, and you can also find me on Facebook under the same name, Jessica May Psychic Medium. And I also have a Facebook group, Jessica May Soul Connections, and that's where I put more, I would say more intimate messages up there, but it's for people to come together. Everyone in that group feels they need to be in that group for some reason or another. And it's a good support group as well for people at this time. So thank you once again for listening, and I hope you join me again soon. So take care everyone.